So can all of you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, wonderful. So I'll quickly start. So today's session is on EndNote 21. And uh, first, I will take you through a short presentation, and then we will go to the live platform of EndNote and we will see how it works. Okay, so first of all, EndNote 21. This is a reference management tool by Clarivate, right? And like every other reference management tool, there are two platforms of EndNote. You have the EndNote desktop platform, or the desktop version, and as we call it, it is the EndNote 21. And we also have the online version of EndNote 21. Okay, so briefly, here is the presentation on EndNote. Yeah, okay, just a minute. Okay, so this is a brief introduction. So this is basically telling you that formatting references can be very cumbersome. So many articles, so many references, and so much of time used for formatting your references. Here you can accelerate all of this, right? So EndNote basically understands the problems of a researcher, and it helps you in minimizing those problems. The biggest problem that a researcher has is time, right? This is a very time consuming process. So with the help of EndNote, you can save a lot of time, right? And we will show, as we progress and as we proceed to the live demo, I will show you various techniques of saving time, right? And then you can stay organized. So by organized, what we mean is you can arrange your references in various folders. We call them groups, right? And you can see which of them have attachments and how to view the attachments. All of these can be discussed. You can collaborate very easily, right? You can share your references with a group of people you desire. You can share your information. You can share your notes along with those references. It becomes super easy with EndNote 21. And then you can get published. So while getting published, you need to sort your references. You need to insert citations and references, and basically create a bibliography for your research paper. And there are over 7,000 different bibliometric styles that you can choose from, right? So all this becomes very easy if you have EndNote 21. So you can power your research. There's so many things that you can do. For example, building a library. So in order to achieve all of those options which we saw in the previous slide, right? Let me quickly go back to the previous slide. Saving time, staying organized, collaborating easily, and getting published. How do you achieve all of this, right? So you can achieve, first of all, by building your library. So the first things first, as we proceed to the demo, I will show you how to build your library, right? How you can work from anywhere, right? So we have the desktop version where you can, it does not require internet connectivity at all times. Of course, if you have the internet connectivity, it's good. But if you're traveling somewhere, if you're in a flight or something, or if you do not have any internet connection, you can still work on EndNote 21, the desktop version, right? And once you get back on online, you can, save all the changes, and I will show you how to do that. You can manage your PDFs. You can import PDFs from anywhere, right? You can annotate. You can insert your special messages there. Uh, then you can format your references. Like I said, over 7,000 styles. You can write faster, which means you can, with the help of a plugin, you can actually insert citations and references. You can create your bibliography, and you can stay up to date. So with that, see, there are a lot of versions of EndNote. It has been in the market since a very long time, right? So the latest version, what we're talking about here is the EndNote 21. By the way, the latest version is EndNote 2025. It was, right now we're going to talk about EndNote 21. So EndNote 21, you can protect your work with data restoration options. You can stay organized with customizable tags. You can cite while you write. This option was earlier available only for MS Word. Now we have incorporated this for even Google Docs, right? So you can do this even in Google Docs without any problem. You can experience an EndNote web interface. A new interface has been launched. You can use that, right? This is basically a screenshot which tells you that you can protect your work. So how do you do that? We will get to this when we see the live demo. You can recover your library. If you delete your library by mistake, that's when you do it, right? Then you can actually quickly have a look. This is the screenshot of the basic interface of the EndNote desktop version, where it is divided in three parts. If you look at the left-hand side, extreme left column, it's in black. This is where you have all your references that are shown in various groups, right? And then in the middle column you see all the references, the titles of the papers, the year when it was published, etc. And on the right hand side, the right column, it shows you the details of the reference that you select, right? It becomes very easy, super easy. I will show this to you when we get to the demo, right? And you can this is site value, right? So instead of showing this to you in the slide, I will actually show this to you in the demo part, right? And redesign web interface. So this is what the web interface looks like. Yeah. And then you can collaborate with people. You can sync your library. You can share your libraries with people. Basically, you can share your groups with different people, right? It becomes easy for you to share references in that manner. And then you can more control over deduplication. So you can deduplicate your references. So what happens is that researchers often, when they import papers into EndNote, they bring it from various sources, right? There is a possibility that you may be importing the same paper twice or thrice, right, from different platforms. So here uh, we have an option of deduplicating, right, and removing any duplicates that you have. Although EndNote21 provides you with unlimited memory space, but still it is better to deduplicate, right, and keep your library more organized. So in short, EndNote provides the best version. This is basically the best version yet. It gives you better experience. This is what our customers had to say. We have a strong privacy policy, so we could not mention the name of the customers here, but this is what our customers had to say about EndNote. It is way ahead in terms of its competition, and it's got new features coming up. So every version comes up with some new enhancements, and we are constantly working on making it even better for you. And we constantly seek feedback from researchers, and we try and make improvements according to the feedback that we receive from various researchers. Okay, so this is basically a comparison what you get with EndNote 21. Sorry. So as you can clearly see, it provides you with a premium experience, right? There's so many features that are available only with the desktop version of EndNote 21, right? So it's a great tool to have. I will not go through the individual features that you see here, but this is a great slide which tells you what you are getting with EndNote 21. As you can see, the one thing that I would like to show you, the attachment storage, right? So the storage space is unlimited. This is quite unbelievable, but it is true. It gives you unlimited memory space. Yeah. Okay. Again, couple of things: flexible reference management, easy collaboration, superior tools for writing and publishing. We know all of this. I've already discussed this part, so this is a bit of a repetitive slide. So slide tells you about the learning portal. So these are the various resources that are available for researchers. We have a learning portal where you can click and you can actually reach our people. You can reach out for technical support. You can download the various options, the bibliometric styles that are there, right, and get them installed on your EndNote 21 account. So basically, you can reach us for any problem at all, and we have recordings which are available. If you want, you can actually go to YouTube. We have our own YouTube channel. You can view those recordings to understand how to use EndNote 21 in a better way. And we also have live trainings in various languages, right? International languages. So you can actually register and attend those trainings absolutely free of cost. Just keep in mind the language and the time zone that you belong to, right? Okay, so with that, I'll quickly get on with the live demo. Okay, so here we go with EndNote21. So this is the desktop version that I was talking about, right? It has basically three columns. This column on the left-hand side is the panel which shows you the various references, right? I will talk about this a little later, but just wanted to give you a brief introduction about this. So these are the references which are organized into various groups. I will tell you what groups are. What do they actually mean? There are a lot of groups here. And then there are a couple of features shown towards the end of the screen. We'll talk about these features also. Yeah. All right. And then we have the second segment of the screen, this middle segment where you have the various references. References are nothing but papers, right? Papers that you import from various sources. So for example, there are 3,000, more than 3,000 references. So these are, in short, these are more than 3,000 papers that I have imported from various other sources like, Web of Science, like Science Direct, like Google Scholar. You can go to any platform. EndNote does not discriminate between platforms. So you can download a full text paper from any source and you can bring it to EndNote. I have done a similar thing and I have brought more than 3,000 papers onto EndNote. Once they are in EndNote, we start calling them references. As you can clearly see, these are references, right? So with these many references, when I click on any reference, you can see that, the screen on the right-hand side will change. So as you keep clicking on these references, it changes like this, like this. So this is the third segment of the screen, the extreme right, where you will see a short summary of whatever you click, right? So if I click on this reference, this is a short summary, right? You have the summary here, you have the edit option, and you have the PDF option, and you can actually look at the full screen in a new window, right? A couple of options here. So split vertically, split horizontally. I will show you what this means. Right now, we are splitting the screen vertically. Let me show you how it looks when we split it horizontally like this. See, this is the first segment that I have shown you. The second and third segment have changed. Now these are all my references. And as I change, this is the third segment which goes down below. And by the way, you can actually change it. You can customize it. You can, increase or decrease the size according to your choice. I always like to look at it vertically. So let's go back to vertical, but this is entirely your choice. You can decide how you want to look at the screen, right? And like I said, you can increase or decrease the size according to your choice. See, you can just pull it and that's how you can change the size. Yeah. Okay. So with that, this is the desktop version. I will quickly show you how the online version also looks. So let's go to the online version. For the online version, okay, just a minute. Let me just minimize this. I actually am not very familiar with Zoom. I want to actually minimize the screen. I don't know how to do that. Just a minute. Let me figure out a way because I'm not able to see the top options on the screen because of this, right? Okay.
Actually, it can move to the somewhere that you maybe easier to look at your EndNote program.
How can I? How?
Click at the box that you want to move and drag your mouse cursor to the page that you want to let it be.
Actually, I want to hide this panel at the top.
Maybe if you doesn't work with this way, minimize your EndNote screen to see the top.
Okay, no, just a minute. Let me just see. Let me click on OK. All right, let's not waste time. Let's continue like this. I've actually moved it to a different place on my screen. Yeah, let's continue. So yeah, you can see here how to go to the EndNote online version is what I was talking about, right? So here we have the help menu. In the help, we have various options, and then we have EndNote online right here. Yeah, this is EndNote online. So the online version comes absolutely free of cost along with the desktop version, right? Now that you have desktop, you have installed desktop on your laptops, so you are free to use the EndNote online version, each one of you, right? So as soon as I click on EndNote online or the web version, make sure, see, this is going back to the desktop. Since you have already installed this, I'm sure during the installation process or maybe after the installation process, you would have entered your user ID and password somewhere on this on the system, right? So once you enter your user ID and password on the desktop version, please register on the online version with the same user ID and password. Do not sign in directly. Please register here and use exactly the same user ID and exactly the same password. And you will be able to create an account on EndNote online version also. This is the web version, right? I have already done that. So I'm going to quickly log in. Yeah. Okay. So logging into EndNote web. So this is the EndNote web account, as you can see. Let me quickly go back to online to the desktop. See, this is I'm showing you one more time. This is the desktop version, and the last tab is called Help. Go to Help and then click on EndNote Online. Yeah. As soon as you click on EndNote Online, you will come to an online platform. Just register and sign in, and you will see this screen. Yeah. Okay. Here you will see the Getting Started guide, where you can find, you can store and share, and you can create. So these are the things you find. This is store and share, and this is create. So the one thing that you will notice here is, by the way, you can get rid of this. You can lose this Getting Started guide just by clicking here. You can hide it like this. And this is back to my references. Okay. Now, the one thing that you would notice is this. Look at this number. All my references, and the number is 3047. And what do you see on the desktop version? Let's go back to desktop. Let's jump over. Okay. What do you see here on the desktop version? All references 3047. So it's exactly the same, right? In short, all the this is they are mirror images of one another, right? So whatever you save in the desktop, it automatically gets copied on the online version. So what is the benefit of having the online version, right? You may ask. See, the desktop is actually installed on your laptop. So wherever you go, whatever you do, if you have to use EndNote, you have to carry your laptop with you, right? But if you want to use EndNote online version, you don't need your laptop, right? Just the way you access your Facebook account, your Gmail account, you don't actually need to carry your laptop. You just log into any computer available, and you can just go to their website and enter your user ID and password. That's exactly what you do with the online version. You don't need to carry your laptop everywhere. But if you want to use your desktop version, then yes, laptop is required where EndNote is installed, right? I hope that part is clear. There are a couple of other differences also, which I will keep highlighting as we go along the session. Yeah. So briefly, I will now show you the various options within the desktop version, right? So I'm back on the EndNote desktop. We will slowly go through all of these options. This ribbon at the top, file, edit, references, group, tags, etc. Right? So before getting started with EndNote, the very first step is to build a library, right? Basically, if you open up a new account on EndNote, you will not have any references. This will be zero. In my case, you see 3047, but in your case, it would be absolutely zero. There will be no references, no papers from anywhere. So the first things first, you have to get papers into your EndNote account to be able to use it, right? So how do you do that? It's very simple. Go to any site, right? It could be Google Scholar, it could be Web of Science, it could be, uh, you know, Springer Link or Science Direct or anything. You like a paper, you download and you bring it to EndNote. I will show you the process. First, let me show you the process with Web of Science, right? So here I'm opening up another window, and let's quickly go to Web of Science. How do you do that? Well, I have access to Web of Science, so I will quickly open up Web of Science for you. Okay, I just quickly need to sign in. Okay, so this is the regular Web of Science window, and I can do any random search on Web of Science. For example, I'm going to do a search on, let's say my area of interest is nanocells, right? I'm going to do a search on nanocells very quickly. I'm getting some results, right? Now let's assume this is Web of Science, by the way. So I'm just showing you techniques of exporting papers from Web of Science to EndNote. So on Web of Science, when I do a search on my research topic, I come across some results. Let's say I like this paper, right? Let's just assume for a minute. This is my interest. So I select this paper and I can export it. So there's an export option, a drop down. Let's select, okay, EndNote Online and EndNote Desktop. Let's go with desktop. Okay, I have selected one paper, that's fine. Or I could even select all records on the page, which I really don't want to. Or I can even select the first 1000 documents that appear on this page in the background on Web of Science. I don't really want to do that. I just want to go with the one paper which I have selected. Then it is asking me what content do I need to export, right? So here are some options for you. You can export just the author, title, and source information, or you could even include the abstract, or you could go with the full record with references, etc. And there's also an option of custom selection. Let me show you what this means. If I click here, these are the options which are selected, and this information to be exported to Web of Science, right? So you can choose, you can select or unselect whatever you want or you do not want. For example, I do not want to see open access. I do not want to see, uh, let's say, Web of Science categories. I want to see, instead, I would like to see highly cited, and I would like to see funding information. So basically, I'm just showing you examples of how to select or how to unselect options according to your choice. And then you can save your selections and you can export. Export is in progress, right? And something gets downloaded here. I just need to click and it goes into my EndNote account. Basically, now there's an addition. It says, this is the EndNote desktop version back. So imported references, it says one, and this is the one paper which has come from Web of Science. If you want, you can actually check, is this really the paper? The title is Effects of Uptake of Hydroxyphthalate, whatever it is. Yeah, so here it is, Effects of Uptake of Hydroxyphthalate Nanoparticles. Yeah, so basically this is the same paper which just got imported into EndNote. And now my references are 3048. Earlier it was 3047. Let's quickly jump to the online version and see how many references are there. Now that I've added one reference here, has this reference been added to the online version? Let's find out. So back to EndNote Online. Okay, this is still 3047. The new reference has not yet been added here. How do I bring it to online version? Simply by refreshing the screen here. This should become 3048. Okay, just a minute. Sorry. Let's sign out and sign in one more time. Let me quickly make a few, let me just check. Why is it not happening? Preferences. Sync. Okay, for some reason this is not happening, but this generally happens maybe because there was a scheduled downtime. The system was about to go in maintenance. Maybe I did not check. Yeah, it is under maintenance. Yeah, I've just checked. Uh, there's a notification. This system is going into maintenance, and this is the reason. It should be rectified in another 2 or 3 hours. That's okay. Yeah. So what happens is when you bring in references, this is how you build your library. Now this is 3048. Yeah. So you can create your library like this. Now what happens next? Once you have created a substantial library with so many papers, then what do you do next? In the next step, I'm going to show you how to create groups. Why do we need groups, by the way? Well, groups are basically nothing but folders, right? How do you create these folders? So generally, a researcher has a lot of references, right? Suppose you download a reference, a paper from, let's say, Google Scholar, and you save it on your laptop. If you have a lot of papers, you would be saving them in various folders, correct? And if you have been doing this process for the last 5 or 6 years, you would end up having a lot of full text PDFs on your system, correct? And now that creates a problem. Why? Because laptops generally have a limited memory space. So what people generally start doing is they start saving the papers in pen drives, in external hard disks, and so on, right? But then again, there's a problem that these are susceptible to damage, right? You can lose your laptops, you can lose your pen drives and hard disk, or it could get corrupted anywhere. There could be a virus. So they're always at risk. Okay. So the one benefit that you get with EndNote, and it's a big benefit, is that everything is saved on the cloud, right? So all the references that you are saving here, for example, in my case, we have more than 3,000 references here. Everything is getting saved on the cloud. So even if I lose my laptop, my pen drive, hard disk, whatever, or if there's a virus, no problem, because the account exists on the cloud and nothing will happen. It will still remain intact without any problem, and I can recover it anytime. If you lose your laptop, you don't lose the references, right? You get a new laptop and download EndNote desktop version on that, and then just click on sync, right? And everything comes back to your everything comes back to your EndNote account. It's as simple as that. You just need to log into your EndNote account, and everything will come back to you. Okay, so this is one big benefit of having EndNote, because it is on the cloud. Now generally people save all their PDFs in folders, right? Here on EndNote, we create folders, but we call them groups instead, right? So these are the various groups that I have already created. Okay, so what do we do with these groups? How do we create them, first of all? Right now, there's a tab here which says groups. Let me go to the tab. It's very simple and easy to understand. It says create group, and then create smart group, and create from group. Let's talk of these three then, right? Okay, so how do I do that? Let's go on create group. See, a new group just got created here, right here at the bottom, right? You can see new group. Oops, I think I lost it. Here it is, new group. I can give it any name of my choice. So here I'm going to rename, and I'm going to give it any new name. Let me give it the name of, let's say, let me call it Thailand. Okay, this new group. You can give it any name. This is just a random name that I have given. You can actually give it the name of your research. I could even give it the name of, let's do it this way. I'm going to give it a proper name, right? I'm going to give it the name of, let's say, nanocells. Yeah. So here it is, nanocells. I have created a group called nanocells. Now I want to allocate papers to this group. So you remember I just got one paper, which was recently imported, this one. Yeah. Let's click on this. And I just need to drag and drop. So I click on this paper, and I just you with your mouse just drag this paper and bring it on the left, yeah, and drop it in the group you want. So let me scroll down. Let me go to nanocells. Okay, here it is, nanocells. I'm going to drop it here. There you go. It's there, nanocells. So it's as simple as that. Yeah, and it says nanocells here. If you see the heading, nanocells and one reference. So this one reference is there now, right? Okay. I can bring more references. Suppose there are some references lying here in all references, right? So this is basically a master group or a master folder which will have all the papers that you bring in from various sources. So this combined number, this cumulative number will always be there, 3048. This is all the groups in total. And now I can actually go to all references and bring some papers from here also. So let me go to these two papers, the last two. Yeah, these two basically. I'm selecting these two and again dragging and dropping them into nanocells. So let's go to nanocells very quickly. Okay. Just a minute. Where's nanocells? Okay. It's right here. So these two papers into nanocells like this. This nanocells is now 3. If you notice, the number is 3 here, right? And these are the 3 references. Yeah, you see them? 1, 2, and 3. So this becomes very easy. Next time when you're working on the topic of nanocells, you don't have to, search for papers under all references. You don't, because there are so many references here, more than 3,000. In your case, this could be 5,000, 10,000, right? And it becomes difficult for you to look for papers. Just go to your research group. If you have named it accordingly, if I'm looking for papers on nanocells, I know I will find it here. As simple as that. Yeah. Okay, this was about creating a group where you have to manually drag and drop the papers, right? Now, let's look at the second type of group. It's called a smart group. This again is quite simple. You just click on this. See, you have to give instructions here. It works in a slightly different manner. So I'm going to show you how this works. Groups, smart group. You have to give it any name, right? I will call it smart nanocells. I'm adding the word smart just to remind me that this is a smart group. Okay. Now, what is so special about the smart group? Basically, you can give instructions here. You can give instructions like, just the way you do your search. If you do an author search, then you have to give any author's name. So you go to this drop down, you select any author's name, and you enter the author's name and do a search. Here, I'm going to do a search based on something special. For example, I know that this group is about nanocells. So instead of author, I will change it to, let's say, keywords. And I will say keywords contain nanocells. Okay. And I will create. You can even give more instructions using these options and or not. You can choose if you want. You can give a year, or you can choose any other option if you do not like year. And you can mention anything you want, right? There's so many options for you to choose. I will just go with this. Now, what will happen is, let's click on create and see what happens. Create. Okay, here it is. It says nanocells, and this group just got created. Yeah, there is no reference here. I will create one more group. Okay, let me just edit this group. Let me do a right click. Instead of creating more groups, you can edit and you can change instructions. Let me call it smart virus, and maybe within virus, I will call it COVID. And here I will say virus. Yeah, keywords contain virus. So I've changed the name of the group, and I have given a different instruction that I want all the papers where the word virus appears. I want all of them to be allocated to this particular group. So here I click on save and see what happens. Smart virus COVID. It automatically has 36 references. I did not drag and drop in front of you, right? Automatically, these 36 papers have come in. Now, the question is, from where did these 36 papers come, right? The answer is quite simple. It does not look for these papers in the entire internet. It simply goes to all references, these 3000 papers. And here, from these 3000 papers, it will look for virus as a keyword in all of these 3000 papers. And wherever it finds virus, it will automatically bring those papers into this particular group, which I just created, right? So smart virus COVID. So it found virus as a keyword in 36 papers. And that is the reason why it has brought all these 36 papers here. And this is what is so smart about it, right? It has automatically bringing these papers. And the next time when you bring any new paper into your EndNote account, whether it is from Google Scholar or Web of Science or any other source, if that paper also contains the word virus, right? If it has a keyword virus anywhere in the paper, that paper will also get automatically added to this group, right? And if you add that paper, automatically gets added, and this will then become 37, right? So this instruction remains on EndNote forever unless you change it, right? This is the smart thing. It automatically organizes your references. That is the reason why we call it a reference management tool. There's a lot of AI involved in this, and it automatically manages your reference. So the next time, as a researcher, if I need papers on COVID, if I need papers on virus, I just need to come here, and these 36 papers are ready for me. I don't have to look for these 36 papers out of these 3000 papers, right? Scanning all these 33,000 papers, going through each and every paper, it will be a very, time consuming process for me. Now I just need to go to this group and these 36 papers are waiting for me, right? So I would suggest create smart groups, give it the name of your choice, depending on your keyword, your research area. And when you bring papers to EndNote related to that research area, those papers will automatically be added to your respective groups. That is what we call as a smart group. The third type of group is called this is created from your other groups. Before I click, let me just quickly show you. Now, if you look at my screen here, these are the groups that I have already created, right? In my previous sessions for various institutions, I ended up creating so many groups. Yeah. Now, when I go to create from groups, right? Again, first of all, we want you to give it any name. Let's say you give it some name, right? Then it says select a group. Now this drop down, because it says select a group, it means it is going to display a list of groups to me. And what groups? These groups which you already see. So from your own personal account, whatever groups you have created, the same groups are going to be displayed here, right? Let me see. Okay, see, these are the groups which you will find in my case, right? The same groups are displayed. Now, why do we need to create a group? Why do we need to combine these groups and create a new type of group? Well, this is a great example of finding out the correlation between two groups, right? Two research areas. For example, if I have a group of virus, let's see if I have a group of virus, okay? And then if I have a group of COVID, right? So I can select that. For example, if I have this group, yeah, I'm selecting this group, and let me choose these operators, and, or, and not. I hope you know the difference between all of them. Let me go with and I select another group. Let me select, let's say, the one that which I just created, virus smart, and let's create a group, right? There are 7 new references in this group. What it is basically doing is, the two groups that it is combining, it will find the common keywords between these two and it will create a new group, right? So if you want to find correlation between two research areas, this is the best way forward, right? By correlation, what I mean is, let's say if there's a researcher who is simultaneously working on two research projects. One research could be only on a broader category of virus. We know that there are hundreds of viruses today that exist, right? And COVID or maybe coronavirus is just one specific type of virus among the hundreds of viruses that exist today. If there's a researcher who is working on viruses as well as on COVID, and if he wants to find out a paper that talks about both COVID as well as virus, right? They can then create this third type of group, which is called from groups, and he can combine the two groups. One group containing just papers from viruses, the other group containing papers from COVID. When he combines, he will get a third type of group, which has research talking about both these topics, right? I can give you another example. Let's say, I'm an engineer and I'm working on, let's say, buildings, right? Structures, building structures, right? And then I'm also a researcher who is working on, let's say, creating, building bridges, right? So what is the common factor between buildings and bridges, right? Maybe huge residential buildings or maybe malls or shopping malls. And what is the common thing between creating a bridge? If there's a paper that talks about the two different topics, I can create groups and I can combine the groups and I will get the result, right? So this is the third type of group. By the way, these are the remaining options. You can easily, rename, delete, etc. These are simple options. I will not talk about this. Yeah. So this is it. Then we are arranging things in terms of authors. Let me go to all references here. You have authors, you have years. So these are all the papers arranged in front of you with all the author names, the year, the title, etc. Everything is there. And then it gives you the journal where it was published, last updated, and so on, reference types, etc. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what is different. Here we have the attachment symbol. So wherever you find the attachment symbol, this pin kind of an option, it means there's a attachment. Let's click on this paper and see what happens, right? So let's start focusing on the right hand side to see what you get here. Yeah, there are three things here. The three main, of course there are more options, but let's explore the first three options. The first option is summary. Summary, it gives you the summary of the paper. Of course, the PDF is right here. If you double click, this PDF will open, right? Okay. So here it gives you the title of the paper. This is the title, author names, etc. And this is the hyperlink. This is how you can reach the PDF directly. Yeah. So this is basically the summary of the paper. Okay. What else do you get? Apart from this, EndNote allows you to attach something with this. Suppose you are a researcher and you like this paper and you know that you have also done some research on this topic as well. And those results are saved in an Excel file, right? And now as a smart researcher, what you can do is you tell yourself that, hey, whenever I look at this paper, I also want to look at the Excel file which I have created, right? I don't want to lose that Excel file. I want to save it on the cloud. So what you do is you go here, go to attach file, and you can browse and you can attach anything with this. Suppose there's a presentation that which you have created, right? A PPT, a presentation. You want to attach that presentation along with this for your own reference so that you don't lose the presentation. Whenever you look at this paper, the presentation is also there, or the Excel sheet or anything. Just go here, attach, and you can attach anything. For example, here you can go to libraries, my documents, and you have everything right here, right? Your own laptop will open and you can attach anything from your own laptop along with this paper. And this paper, this attachment can only be viewed by you. Nobody else can see this, right? Okay. Let's see the edit section. Edit. You can manage tags, right? You can choose the reference type. Suppose this paper, this is not a paper. This is, let's say this is a book chapter which you have downloaded from somewhere. Yeah. So here there's an option here. Instead of a journal article, which is the default option, you can change it. You can call it a book, right? Or maybe a book section or a chapter, right? If you think this is something else, you can choose. See, there are hundreds of, you can even choose anything else from here, right? Data set, dictionary, edited book, etc. There's so many options here, right? If you think this is a newspaper article, you can choose accordingly. For example, I search, okay, here it is. If you think this is a newspaper article, you download it from somewhere, you can click this. So the next time when you open up this paper, you know that this is not a regular paper, this is just a newspaper article, right? By default, journal article will always be selected. So you have to change this to any other option if you want, right? But this is just to make things easier for you to understand, right? All the author names are given here, the year, the title of the paper, etc. Everything is given, right? Okay, and then the abstract. Then we have the PDF here. This is the PDF, yeah? Okay, if you want to read the PDF completely, it opens up in another window like this. So you click on this and that's your complete PDF paper in front of you, right? And along with the abstract, introduction, everything is given right here. Yeah, so this is the full text PDF right up to bibliography. See, this is the bibliography in the end. So this complete paper is available for you. The other thing that you can do with this paper is you can actually annotate and attach things along with this. For example, let's go here. See, there's no need to memorize anything. Just hover the mouse on something and you will see there's a definition that appears. For example, if I go here, it says markup and annotation. Let's click on this and see what it gives me. Okay, here, these are a couple of options. Let's see what it is. Okay, it says a sticky note. So I can create a sticky note. Then it says highlight text. You can underline the text. You can strike out the text and you can actually close this. So let me go with highlight. For example, let me highlight some text here. I've selected this. Okay, I'm going to highlight some text on page number 2. Okay, this is the second page and I'm going to highlight something here. Okay, it just got highlighted as you can see in yellow. Now that this has been highlighted, I'll go back to page number 1 and I'm going to insert a sticky note here. So I go here to sticky note and you click anywhere on the screen, a sticky note comes up, this bubble thing, right? Double click on the bubble and you can give any comment here. This is free text. You can enter anything you want. You can say, good example of my research. Yeah. Or you can just say, good for my student, right? And if you know that your student is working on the same research area, or good for my friend, or you can give any text here, right? Anything you're free to write anything here. Okay. So I can actually write something and I can close it. And then I can actually share it with anyone. I can email this as an attachment. I can share it with anyone, share it as a PDF, right? I can, first of all, I'll save the changes. Yeah, you're saving the change. You can share it and you're done. Okay. So, and you can even edit your PDF from here. You can make any change and you can edit. Okay. So let's close this. Yes. So indexing PDF, we are done. Now, let's just suppose that I want to look for that same paper. Now I have forgotten where that paper is, right? Out of these 3,000 papers, I have lost that paper. I don't know where that paper is. So I want to find that paper. What you can do is, if you remember that you have put anything on a sticky note, you can find it from here. Let's go here, all references. I can actually go here and say any field and PDF. Okay, PDF notes. I'll go here with any field and with PDF notes. and I can just say good for my student was the comment, right? Okay. Good for my student, and I'll search, and this is the paper. See, out of 3,000 papers, I have found this paper because it also was searching through the notes and it found this comment and it is showing this, right? So it becomes very easy for you to look for papers, right? The other thing I also want to show you is, let's say, okay, let's click on this paper and let's go to edit. Now, whenever you bring papers onto EndNote, right, I also want you to basically look at this, go to edit, and there's an option of, I'll just show you, label. Do you see this label option here? You can mention anything here as well. For example, I can just say, very good article for lecture, right? I can just mention any comment here for myself and I can actually save it. Yeah. So now let's say if I forget where that paper is. So I can again go here and I can go to label right here, and I can, within the label section, I can enter anything which I had mentioned earlier, right? So let me just mention one word, lecture. See, the same paper has come up. Very good article for my lecture, right? Here it is. So you don't need to enter the complete thing. So these are things that, they're small little things that you can do to find a paper if you are forgetting where it is. Always give a special comment for yourself, for your own reference, right? So that it becomes easier for you to find papers whenever you need them. See, the biggest problem with people is they can save a lot of papers, either in folders or anywhere on EndNote, but when they need those papers, that is where you face a problem. You have a paper somewhere on your system, but you can't find it, right? Especially if you have a lot of papers. So these small little things can actually help you in finding those papers whenever you need. Yeah. Okay, let's proceed. Okay, now I've spoken about these tags, etc. Yeah, create tags, rename tags, delete tags, you can do all of that. Library, you can do. Okay, let's do one more thing. Let's go to all references. Yeah. Now, the other thing that people often do is they create duplicates, right? Suppose I go to, let's say, Google Scholar, and I enter a keyword and I do a search and I like a paper from Google Scholar, I bring it to EndNote, right? First of all, how will you do that? Let me show you some examples here. This is my desktop. I can actually create a folder. This is how you create a folder. We all know how to create folders. Let me give it any name, right? I've given it a name of Thailand. Now, what I will do is, if I like a paper from Google Scholar, I'll go to Google Scholar and I will download that paper and bring it in this single folder. If I like a paper from Science Direct, I'll go to Science Direct, I'll download that paper and bring it to the same folder. So in short, EndNote does not discriminate. You can bring papers from anywhere and you can bring everything and put them here in that single folder. The other thing you can do is you can actually, if you have lots of papers saved on your laptop, right? Lots of full text PDFs already saved on your laptops. You bring all those PDFs into the same single folder. Once you have a lot of PDFs in this folder, no matter the source, just go to EndNote and go to import and then click on folder in the file section, right? File, import, folder, and you can choose. I know that this was lying on my desktop, so I'll go to the desktop and I will look for Thailand. Here it is, and I can proceed. So all the papers that are sitting, all the full text PDFs which are sitting in this folder, when I do this, all of them will come into my EndNote account, EndNote library, right? Without any problem. I will not proceed here because I know this is empty, but I'm just showing you the process, how this is done. So no matter the source, whether it's Google Scholar, ScienceDirect, Springer Link, Taylor and Francis, whatever, or even Web of Science, we don't care. Just put them here and you can bring it to EndNote. Yeah, it's quite simple. Once you bring papers, so this generally happens with researchers. They may bring papers. If they go to, let's say, Google Scholar, they like a paper and they bring it to EndNote. Then the next day they go to, let's say, Springer Link or maybe any other site, and they enter a keyword, do a search, and you end up looking at the same paper without realizing you bring the same paper to your EndNote account. So in short, you create a duplicate, right? So let me create a duplicate here. Okay, so if you notice, I have two papers now on EndNote account. The Internet of Things, right? The Internet of Things. Let me make some change here in this. So this is the first paper. This is the second. In the first paper, in the label section, edit, label, I can just say on IoT. IoT is Internet of Things, right? On IoT. Okay, let's save this. It's done. Now, I forget where that paper is, right? Okay. Oops, EndNote just closed on its own. Let me just open up EndNote again. Sorry about that. Like I said, there's some maintenance going on. So this generally happens during the maintenance time. Actually, I should not be using EndNote right now, but that's it. That's okay. No problem. So here we are, sorry, with the EndNote. Now I just created a duplicate and I've forgotten where that duplicate is. Now my task is to remove the duplicate from my account. Now, how do I do that? It's quite simple. You go here into library. In the library section, you have find duplicates, right? Let's click on find duplicate. Now, it displays the two duplicates in front of two papers. This is paper number 1 on the left, and this is paper number 2 on the right. They are duplicates. EndNote has identified them to be duplicates, and it displays the difference between the duplicates. Here in the label section, if you remember, I had written on IoT, on Internet of Things. And here I had not mentioned anything. So it displays the duplicates along with any difference that was created by you. Now it is your choice whether you want to keep this record or you keep this record. Whatever you want, you can keep, and the other one will automatically get deleted. So you can either choose to keep this reference or you can choose to keep this one. I will keep this because there is a mention here, so I will keep this one. So keep this reference, the other one will be deleted. So click, done. We are back to the same number, right? Do you see how this works? So it's quite easy to remove any duplicates. It's always better to keep your duplicates, your library organized. And if I delete a good paper by mistake, if I select this and I hit delete on the keyboard of my laptop, or if I go here and click on delete, right? There should be a delete option here, right? If I delete something by mistake, then what will happen? It will go into my trash right here. There are 143 items in trash. It does not get deleted immediately, right? It's sitting in trash. I can actually retrieve it from trash. I can click, I can right click, and I can go back and bring it to any. So I can restore it to any library I want, or I can simply drag and drop it to any other folder, which is called a group, right? So this trash is always there for you. It is for your security. Okay, let's proceed. What else do we need to show you? Well, the couple of other things that you should know about this. Well, let's go to the EndNote online version. This is the online version in front of you. Here, let's quickly show you one great feature. Actually, I want to show you two things here, right? If you notice, there are folders here, but it will only display the simple folders on the online version. It will not display the smart and the from groups here, right? The smart groups are not displayed. The from groups are also not displayed. Only the regular groups are displayed here. Yeah. Okay. Let's jump back to EndNote desktop right here. Okay. As you scroll down, now I've already discussed about groups. So let's scroll down. See, you can see there's so many groups here. Below that, you have my tags, right? So my tags basically means you can tag them with various color codings, right? So here, what you can do is go back to your paper of your choice like this, and you can give it any tag. Right click and you can tag, right? Or you even create tags here, right? There are many options here. You can create tags from here. There are many ways of creating tags. And once you do that, those tags are available here. This is pretty simple, so I will not go into much detail, right? Finding full text. Let's do this. This is quite interesting. So now I will show this along with one more feature of EndNote Online, which is the online search. So this is something very unique to EndNote, and it is not available in any of the reference management tools. And it's very easy to work on this. See, here you have various resources. Let's click on this plus sign and you will see that there's a list which is displayed of the various resources. Yeah. So you can choose a connection. So what connections are these? These are basically the various platforms. So this is PubMed is displayed right here, PubMed. You can add any resource. For example, in your university, let's say you subscribe to a particular resource, right? So you are subscribing to, let's say, this one from EBSCO, or you're subscribing to this resource from EBSCO, or maybe something else, right? So all the resources are provided here, listed alphabetically. You can choose which one you want, right? For example, if you have Web of Science, you can choose this and you can click on choose. Once you make your choice, right, and you click on choose, it gets added to this list here, right? I've already done that. PubMed is added here and Web of Science is added, and a couple of other options are also there. Now, what is the benefit of adding this? See, this is the EndNote desktop version. However, if I click on PubMed, this platform now starts behaving like PubMed. If you don't believe me, I can actually show you. See, PubMed is a free resource, right? No, you don't need a subscription for that. Anyone can access, just like Google, you can access PubMed also. So here I've clicked on PubMed and now I can do a search. It will give me exactly the same result as you would be seeing on the actual platform of PubMed. So here I'm going to go to, let's say I don't want to do an author search. I want to do maybe a title search. Let's go with a title search. The title should contain, since PubMed is a medical platform, so I'll have to give a medical term. Stem cell. Okay. So title should contain stem cell. And let me do a search. I'm assuming that it will give me a lot of results. So right now it is searching the PubMed platform. And if you do a parallel search on PubMed, you will get exactly the same result. If the search is on stem cell, you will get 97161 results. I have got exactly the same number of results right here. Yeah. Okay, on stem cells, I've got so much research. Now, let me just quickly select a couple of options here. I don't want all these papers. I'm just selecting a couple of them, and I want only these papers, right? So I've selected them, and let me click on this plus sign. And do you see what happens? Right here, if I scroll to the very top, yeah, recently added, it says 12. So all these papers that I've selected are recently added, and they have gone into 12, the same result. Now, let me select all these papers, these 12 papers, and look at these options here. There are a couple of options that you see. Let me go to each one of them one by one, right? Insert a citation, add a new reference, share this group, export this group, search the web for full text, and create Web of Science citation report. So I will go with this one. This is a new thing that you will love. What it is going to do is it will start looking. So if you notice, this is the attachment symbol, right? I told you earlier. Now, this attachment symbol is not there in any of these 12 papers, right? Which means the full text is missing in all these 12 papers. Now, I'm going to tell EndNote to look for full text papers for these 12 papers. So let me do a search. And this is where find full text comes into the picture. It is finding full text, it is searching. This is real-time search. It is basically scanning the entire internet, and it is trying to find if there's any full text available for any of these papers. It says so far it has not found full text for these 5. Okay. Wherever it finds a full text, it says found PDF. It will say that. Yeah. So just observe this space. Observe this space. So it was 12, remember? Okay, done. So 12, 5 plus 1 is 6, and 6 plus 6 is 12. So all these 12 papers are accounted for. From these 12 papers, it has found PDFs for 5 papers. For one, it found just the URL, and for the remaining 6, it could not find anything. And guess what? In these 5 cases where the PDF was found, it is already attached. So it has attached these papers respectively for all those papers. So this one, the PDF was found, and the PDF is right here. You can see in the summary also there's a PDF. Here it is the PDF. Here, the PDF was found on this paper also. Let's see. Here it is. This is the PDF. And then this one, this, and this. So this is the find full text option, which is not there on any other resource. If you want, you can actually look at this full text PDF. It is there right up to the bibliography, right? This is what it was found. Let's see this paper. Again, the full text is right here. Yeah, you can view all of this. So it's a great tool to have. Now, I was actually going to show you one more feature. Since we are running short of time, I will maybe show you just 1 or 2 more features on the online version, and then I'll take a few questions. So here, jumping to the online version, we look at EndNote Online. And now, the one thing that EndNote is famous for is inserting citations and references, right? How do you do that? Well, if you have already downloaded a desktop version of EndNote, then there's something known as plugin, which comes along with the download of desktop. So if you have downloaded the desktop already, then the plugin is also getting, it has already got downloaded automatically, right? It is a part of the download process. So now let me open up a Word file. Yeah. So what you do is just open up a Word file and start writing your paper. So I'm opening Word, and here I'm going to start writing my paper. Okay, don't focus on the text. This is the paper which I have written. I have only written 2 paragraphs so far. So we call it cite while you write plugin, right? So this is the cite while you write thing. I have downloaded this. Oh, sorry, I have actually not, I have written this paper. Sorry, I'm sorry about that. Yeah, so I have written only 2 paragraphs, right? Now I want to insert citations and references in my paper. See, you don't need to actually complete the writing of your paper. You can start inserting citations and references even if you type only a portion of your paper. Here in this case, I have written only 2 paragraphs, and now I can immediately start inserting citations and references. It's very simple. The only rule you need to remember is place the cursor wherever you want the citation to appear. So I want the citation to appear, let's say, okay, let me put it here before the word powerful. So if I want the citation to appear at this point, I've placed the cursor here. Now the next thing is to actually insert the citation. And how does that work? You just need to go here in the ribbon at the top and look for EndNote21. Here it is. This is the plugin which gets downloaded automatically. In the regular Word file, these options are available only until help. This new option gets added. This is a part of the plugin. You click on this. This is the plugin basically. So now you just need to click on the magnifying glass right here. Insert citation. When you click on that, okay, let me just select this. Yeah. So when you click on insert citation, just give me a minute. Yeah. Powerful. And I'm going to insert citation. Now, in your case, this little window will open up, but there'll be nothing on the screen. Why is that? Number one, in case you do not have any papers in your EndNote library, right? Any references. If you have recently opened your account and you have not imported any paper into your EndNote account, then this library would be empty. In case you have already got a few papers in your EndNote account, still, if this screen remains vacant, then in that case, it means you have not entered any keyword here. You have to enter a keyword. You know why? Because researchers can have lots of papers in their EndNote account from various research areas, right? If you're working on 2 or 3 research areas, obviously your EndNote will have papers from all those research areas. So it's better to mention a keyword so that EndNote knows which papers to display. For example, here I have already written malaria. I do not want papers on malaria because my EndNote has papers on malaria plus a couple of other research topics. So instead of malaria, I'm actually today writing a paper on engine. And I know that engine, there are a lot of papers within my EndNote library on engine. So I've entered this keyword and I've clicked on find, and a different set of papers are now displayed. These papers are also coming from my own EndNote library. They're not coming from any other source. Okay. These are the papers. Now I just need to select the right paper. For example, I'm going to click on, let's say, the third paper. The next thing I do is click on insert like this. See what happens. I had placed the cursor here. So here, this is the citation that appeared. And reference appears at the bottom of the screen. Basically, EndNote, we use a lot of AI on EndNote. So EndNote knows that, the citation has to be placed where the cursor is, and it understands where the paper is ending. In my case, the paper is ending after 2 paragraphs. So after 2 paragraphs, it leaves some blank space like this, and it enters the reference. This space is given so that you can enter the remaining part of your paper. You can keep writing your paper. Sorry. And you can keep entering the remaining part of your paper. This is just a a text which is generated automatically. Don't focus on this text. The only point that I want to make is you can keep entering more text here, and as you keep writing the remaining part of your paper, your references will keep getting pushed down like this. It will keep going down, and you can keep entering more of your paper from here. So if your paper is 10 pages long, then these references will be moved to the 11th page, right? Let me insert one. So what you do is, once you have finished writing your paper, you will realize that your bibliography is already created. Yeah. Okay, let me show you one more example of entering a citation. Let me place the cursor here in the second paragraph, and okay, let me just minimize this so that you can appreciate what is happening. Let me delete one more paragraph so that you know what is happening here. Yeah, let me give some space. Yeah, now you will see what happens on the screen. I'm going to put another cursor here, and let me go to insert citation, and I'm going to enter multiple citations this time. Use the control key on your keyboard, and you can select multiple citations. Multiple papers are selected. I'm going to insert, and you can see it says 2 to 4. So this is the citation, and 2 to 4, these are the references. This is what I mean by creating your bibliography automatically. So now here, you can type the remaining part of your paper here, and this bibliography keeps getting pushed down, and you have enough space to type your paper, and this process will keep on happening. And by the time you finish your paper, your bibliography is already created. Yeah. And you can actually edit something here. For example, once I finish my paper, I realize that, oh my goodness, I have actually entered the third reference by mistake. This should not have been there, right? If you want to remove something, it's quite easy. You go here to edit and manage citations, and you select the third option. This is the first one, and then the 2 to 4. So this is 2, this is 3, this is 4. If I want to remove number 3, it's simple. Go here. There's a drop down. You can click on remove citation and click on OK. It's so easy. So the third one was removed, and what was earlier at number 4 has now come to number 3 automatically, and the numbering is adjusted automatically. If you see, the numbering is adjusted here as well as here, right? So it's very simple. Now the last option here, if you want to change the style, for example, right now we are using the IEEE style. Yeah. Here you can go to the drop down, and you can choose any style of your choice. For example, you can choose APA 7th if that is the style I'm looking for. Then the citations and the references have automatically changed to APA 7th. If the journal says we accept Vancouver style, Vancouver is right here. This is one Vancouver style. This is how you write the Vancouver style. You don't need to worry about the, these technicalities. It will automatically be taken care of. If you're looking for a style, so if you're a first time user, this is what will happen. If you're using EndNote for the very first time, right? In this drop down of style, you will not see anything. There'll be just one option of select another style. Go here to select another style, and this little window will open up. The name of the styles are mentioned along with the subject categories. These names are mentioned in alphabetical order. You just need to know the name of your style, select that from this list, and click on OK. So the style that I'm looking for is, let's say, if I'm looking for, let's say, the APA 6th sections, if this is the style I'm looking for, I select this and I click on OK. By the way, I'm not going to click on OK right now. I'm not doing this, but this is just to show you. You select your desired style and click OK, right? Once you do that, that style starts appearing in your drop down right here. And then you can go ahead and select that style, right? So it's very simple. I'm going to go back to, let's say, I'm going to show you another style. Let's say MHRA. MHRA style looks something like this. See? So whenever you select anything from here, the citations and the references will change simultaneously, right? They will change together and nothing happens to the basic font of your paper. The basic font of your paper remains unchanged, right? I'm going back to IEEE style. Yeah, it's as simple as that. The last thing I want to show you on EndNote on the online version is this is again something new to EndNote. I told you in the beginning that there are a lot of changes, a lot of differences between the online and the desktop version, right? And I will keep highlighting them along the way. So this is one more difference, and this is a unique feature to EndNote. It is not there on any other reference management tool in the market today. It's called Match. In Match, okay, just a minute, is now integrated with EndNote site value, right? Okay. So this basically works with the EndNote25 version, right? So you can use this match from the master journal list and you can log in from here. Let me quickly log in. I've already created my free account. So if you want to do this, you have to first create your free account. Yeah. And it says already have a manuscript, match manuscript. So you can go to match. It's asking me to log in. So let me log in very quickly. Okay. Since I have been using this a lot of times, so it automatically logs me in. And then you can go to match manuscript. Go here. It basically, you just need to enter your title and your abstract. So here we are. I have an example waiting for you. Let me just quickly show you that option. Okay, just a minute. Access. So this is the title. Let's say you have finished writing your paper, right? And you're looking for a good journal to publish your research. So you just copy the title, go here and enter the title. Go here and enter the abstract. So this is my abstract. I'm not going to copy the entire abstract, just maybe a part of it, just to show you how this works. And this is, here goes the abstract, right? And now all I need to do is find journals. This. Okay, so it is giving me some 27 results. 27 journals are recommended based on my title and my abstract, and a couple of them are open access. Open access option is shown right here. So atmospheric chemistry and physics, right? And then the second option it is recommending is Journal of Geophysical Research Atmospheres, and so on. And remember, open access option is right here. Whenever you see open access, it is good because you tend to receive more citations if you publish in open access. But remember, there's always some APC that will apply if you choose open access, right? But then this is just to show you how it works. So you can choose anyone, right? Okay. As we are approaching the end of the session, I will quickly stop here and maybe wait for a few questions from your side. So any questions, please go ahead. I'll quickly first look at the chat and see if there are any questions. How many download EndNote for TU staff? Well, I think this is something your library can answer. How to download? Okay, yeah. How to download? These are the steps given by your library for downloading. Yeah. Okay.
There is one question in chat box.
Yeah, I'm
for
looking.
one.
If,
Yeah.
if I have a separate EndNote library on my laptop with different topics, when I sync, the libraries will be merged into single library and all the references will be combined in one place. Well, yes, you can have libraries as well as you can have groups. If I were you, instead of maintaining different libraries, of course, I'm not saying that you should not maintain different libraries, but if I were you, I would try to keep things as simple as possible. Personally, this is my own personal choice, by the way. I would rather keep them in different groups, right? And if you have EndNote desktop, you should not worry about memory space. We are in any case, we are giving you unlimited memory. So you don't have to worry about that. So you can actually create various groups and keep them according to your research areas and then accordingly allocate papers. Yeah. Okay. The one other thing that I actually wanted to show you was help. Here in the help menu, okay, in the help, you have EndNote21 help, you have technical support, you have output styles. So if you are in the process of increasing your output styles, then go here, go to the output styles and you can do that. Yeah. EndNote training portal. Now this is an important thing that you should know. Let's go here, EndNote training portal. It will basically take you to endnote.com. This is a free website and this is a training portal. So it says getting started with EndNote and how to use your EndNote 21 in 7 minutes. And the same video is available. The difference is this one is for Windows and this one is for Mac. So if you have a Windows machine, look at this one. If you have an Apple machine, you can see this one, because EndNote, the features are all there, but the layout is slightly different when it comes to Windows versus Mac. So depending on your operating system, please see it accordingly. This is a reference guide for Windows. QRG is quick reference guide. So if you want to look at the guide, please download this and you can see this. It's very easy. Again, QRG for Mac as well as there, right? Discover EndNote Web. So it will give you all the options in web, site value, write docs, the way of inserting citations and references. It is all there. There are lots and lots of videos. This process and installation and settings. So single EndNote user installers, finding your license information. These are simple things that will really help you, and everyone really has said that these are good video, these are good options for us to see. EndNote online, iPad, iPhone, EndNote 20 materials. So these are all previous EndNote versions. By the way, these are video tutorials. We have our own YouTube channel. You can go here, you can see the videos. These videos are not very long, right? 5, 6 or 7 minutes maximum. You will not find videos of 20 minutes, 30 minutes and so on. Self-learning guides are there, reference guides are there. You can even look at our recorded sessions, previous recorded sessions, or you can look at the live trainings. You can sign up. This is absolutely free of cost. You can sign up, but if once you do that, remember to at least look at the language and the time zone, right? If it's a US time zone, obviously it will not be suitable for us. It's almost opposite. For the time zone is not really matching ours, so you may not find them to be very useful. So you will definitely find some trainings happening closer to your time zone. So look at the time zone and look at the language. I don't know if Thai is available, but yes, please do look at the language options, and if there's any recording available in Thai, then you can use that, or you could use English, right? So these are the various options that you can look at, right? If you have any problems, you can contact us. There's a option of contact on the website also. You can reach out to our technical team, right? So it's all very useful. Yeah, more questions, please. What is the difference between, yeah,
Yes.
another question. What is the difference between EndNote program and EndNote online? Well, there's no such thing as EndNote program. It is the EndNote desktop version. We call the desktop version as EndNote 21. So I understand what you're trying to ask. So I will assume that the question is, what is the difference between EndNote21 and EndNote Online? Okay, now here is the answer. There are lots of differences. Number one, you can have different types of groups. Here in the groups on the desktop version, on EndNote21, you can have, there are three types of groups basically: create group, from smart groups, and from groups, right? These are the simple groups, this is the smart group, and this is what you create by two or more groups. On EndNote Online version, here, this is the EndNote Online version, and here we go. Just a minute. It's opening up. My internet connection is a bit slow. Okay, here it is. So here, what you will notice is these are the simple groups, the first category, right? Create a group. Smart group and from groups are missing in case of EndNote Online. Okay, this is the one of the big differences. The other thing, you have various options like if you scroll to the very end of your screen, online searches, right, where I have shown you how to search on these platforms, how to add resources, e-resources, right, to your own account, and then searching and parallelly bringing them into EndNote, finding the full text of papers. It says found PDF like this, right? So there are many options. These all options are missing in case of EndNote Online version, right? Here, like I said, EndNote find full text, right? Or we even have an option of creating a citation report. Citation report is something which is available on Web of Science. This feature will work if you have a parallel subscription. If you do, then you can select a couple of papers from here and go to this option, and you can create a citation report, which will give you the number of papers, the number of citations which the papers have got, and the corresponding H index of those papers, right? So if you're looking at papers from a particular author, then it gives you the papers, the publications, the citations, and the H index of that author. You can even do this for institutions, right? So these are this the main differences. Here you can in the PDF section, right, you can edit and you can do a lot of things here. You can actually add tags to it, you can annotate, you can highlight text, and you can share, which is missing if you do it in case of online. Yeah. Okay, next question please. I think I've answered all the questions in the chat. Anything else, please feel free to ask.
Does anyone has any questions? Okay, I think no more question right now. So, thank you everyone very much to join today's training section. We sincerely hope this session has been useful and information for your academic and research journey. On behalf of Thammasat University Library, we would like to extend our heartfelt thanks to Mr. Sharma for sharing his valuable knowledge and expertise with us today. Your insight and demonstration were truly appreciated. Before you leave, we kindly ask you to complete our certification survey. Your feedback is very important and help us improve future section. So I will send the certification survey form as well as our library contact channel to your chat box. Just a moment, please. Okay, the link of our certification survey as well as link to our library contact channel has already been sent to you with Zoom chat box. If you have any further questions, please feel free to contact us via official channel. Best suggest is Line Official at Live Online. Please don't forget to stay connected with us, receive updates on upcoming training section, library services, and academic support. Thank you once again for your participation. We look forward to see you again in our next section. Have a wonderful day and stay safe. ขอบคุณค่ะ